Let's dive into our first story of the day. Chael Sonnen has made a surprising observation about the declining interest in a potential fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, and he's seeing it firsthand on his own YouTube channel. According to Sonnen, the numbers just aren't there anymore. When he uploads videos discussing the heavyweight matchup, he's getting fewer and fewer views, and for a guy like Chael, who's built a strong presence online, that's a clear red flag. He's not just guessing, the data speaks for itself. In his own words, "I've never in my life seen it go the other way. This fight isn't getting headlines anymore. I can't make any money as a guy that's on YouTube. I can't make money talking about this fight because I can't even get anybody to click on it." Chael explained that he's tried everything. He's experimented with eye-catching thumbnails, relevant photos, even thrown in some behind-the-scenes scoops to lure in viewers. But nothing seems to be working. The numbers are going down, not up. He emphasized that this isn't necessarily the UFC's fault either. In fact, he believes the UFC has the power to flip the narrative overnight if they wanted to. But at the moment, Sonnen is just sharing his observations, and they come from years of studying MMA trends and fan behavior. He went on to say that in his entire career, he's never seen fan interest decrease like this. Normally, when two high-profile names are linked to a potential showdown, the hype builds naturally over time. But in this case, the opposite is happening. Sonnen mentioned the word apathetic as something that's been thrown around, and maybe that's exactly what it is. According to him, fans aren't just disinterested, they're emotionally disconnected, and he has a theory to explain why. People don't actually believe the fight will happen. They've heard about Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall for so long with no official confirmation that they've simply checked out. They don't want to waste their energy getting excited for a bout they think is just fantasy. Whether or not that theory is true, Chael says one thing with absolute certainty: he can prove this fight is losing steam. He shared a recent example to back it up. Just last week, a headline featuring both fighters popped up. Naturally, Chael kept an eye on how the story performed. He refreshed MMA Junkie, MMA Fighting, Bloody Elbow, all the major MMA news sites. And what did he see? The story had already dropped to the third slot within a few hours. It couldn't even hold top placement for half a day. According to Sonnen, that's all the proof you need. You're completely right, he said. This fight's getting smaller, not bigger. Now moving on to the second major news update, Arman Tsarukyan has made it clear that he's open and ready to step in as the backup fighter for the highly anticipated lightweight title bout between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira, which is scheduled to headline UFC 317. This fight is for the vacant lightweight championship, and Arman sees this as a major opportunity to put himself right back in the spotlight. In a recent interview, he said, "I'm not sure if that's needed, but if they offer me that, I will definitely back it up. I will be ready. I'm flying back to the United States now, and I'll be staying there in case anyone gets injured. And if the UFC asks me if I'm ready, I will say yes. Absolutely positive, I'd say yes." Arman's attitude shows his hunger. He knows exactly where he stands in the lightweight division, right on the cusp of a title shot, and he's not going to let any chance slip by. For him, being the backup fighter isn't just a formality, it's a real opportunity. Injuries and last-minute changes are part of the game in MMA, and Arman is positioning himself to be the guy who gets the call if anything unexpected happens to either Topuria or Oliveira. But there's also more to this than just strategy. Arman admitted he's in a position where he needs to take chances right now. He opened up about a recent injury that ended up causing more confusion than clarity. According to him, the injury was misunderstood, and the doctor didn't properly explain what actually went wrong. Because of that, some fans and even fighters started to believe that he ducked a fight, something that has clearly bothered him. He wants to clear the air, and the best way to do that is to step up and show he's always ready for war. "I just need to get back on track," Arman said. "I'm going to do whatever the UFC tells me to do." That statement alone shows how serious he is about his career. He's not in the mood to negotiate or wait for perfect conditions. He wants to stay active, stay visible, and stay ready to fight. Tsarukyan's mindset is that of a fighter who has something to prove. After a few bumps on the road, he's done talking, he wants to act. And if acting means being in full fight shape on standby for UFC 317, he's all in. Whether or not he gets the call, just being in the mix for a title fight adds to his credibility, and could put him next in line regardless of what happens between Topuria and Oliveira. Let's move on to another intriguing piece of news. Former flyweight king and MMA legend Demetrius Johnson recently broke down how he believes Ilia Topuria could be beaten, offering deep technical tactical insight during an appearance on Tim Welch's YouTube channel. DJ, widely known for his fight IQ and mastery across all ranges of mixed martial arts, shared his thoughts on what could be the key to defeating the undefeated Spanish-Georgian powerhouse. Johnson began by acknowledging Ilya's strengths, particularly his striking at range. He explained, "I think somebody who's able to expose him, like, he's very good at that range. That slow check, then he gets in there and throws 5-punch combinations." DJ highlighted how Ilya uses subtle movement and timing to lure his opponents in before unleashing flurries of fast, powerful strikes. It's a method that has worked brilliantly for Ilya so far, especially with his recent knockout wins. However, DJ pointed out a potential weakness: the clinch. He said, "Once somebody gets him in that clinch, that area, that's where I think we'll see how he reacts. Because when you get in that clinch, I feel like it's a zone we haven't seen him fight in." According to Johnson, Ilya's dominance has primarily come from distance striking or ground exchanges, but the clinch remains a largely untested area in his game. Demetrius specifically referenced Charles Oliveira as someone who could test Ilya in that space. He said, "If Charles can get him there, obviously if he grabs the clinch, he can go body, head." Oliveira is known for his devastating clinch work, mixing up body shots, uppercuts, and dangerous knees. But Johnson didn't stop there. He also pointed out the risks of engaging in the clinch against someone like Topuria. When he does that body head combo, you can still bang him with a knee, so it's a give and take. If Charles can get him there, it'll be interesting to see what happens. DJ then got hypothetical and laid out what he would do if he were fighting Ilya. He said bluntly, "If I were to fight Ilya, I'd fight him in the clinch." He explained that staying on the outside would be too risky. On the outside, he hits too hard. He's going to stalk me. If I shoot, he's going to defend, then back up. Or maybe he tries to take me down. So where would DJ take the fight? The clinch, where short-range elbows, knees, and dirty boxing could create chaos. What would he do in the clinch? Because I know he's going to go body and I'm going to go elbow, Johnson said. That's where I'm like, yeah, I want to see what he would do. This analysis from one of MMA's most cerebral fighters adds a fresh layer of excitement to Ilya's upcoming fights, especially against someone like Oliveira, who thrives in those gritty, close-quarters exchanges. Next up, let's talk about Henry Cejudo and his prediction for a potential rematch between Merab Dvalishvili and Sean O'Malley. The former two-division UFC champion recently weighed in on how he sees the fight playing out, and according to him, not much would change from their previous encounter. While Henry doesn't entirely rule Sean out, he's firmly siding with Merab to get the job done once again, by decision. Cejudo explained, "Yeah, Merab's gas tank is just different, bro. That's been one of Merab's most consistent and terrifying weapons, his cardio. The man simply doesn't slow down. He pushes a pace that most bantamweights can't keep up with, and Cejudo believes that's going to be a key factor in the rematch as well." Henry added that Merab doesn't need to reinvent anything, he just needs to repeat what worked in the first fight, but do it with more caution. His level changes. He has to fight the same fight, but just stay away from the right hand, stay away from that front kick, and he's good, Cejudo said. He emphasized that as long as Merab protects his body and keeps his hands up, it's a fight that's Merab's to lose. Still, Cejudo acknowledged that this is MMA and anything can happen, especially when you're dealing with someone as dangerous as O'Malley. This is MMA, bro, and if they're giving Sean another opportunity after getting 50-45, I mean, he does have a chance, Henry admitted. Despite losing so dominantly in the first matchup, Sean is being given another shot, without having to fight through contenders like Corey Sandhagen or the rest of the stacked top 5 in the bantamweight division. Henry made it clear what this opportunity looks like to him. This is just a silver platter, but that doesn't mean O'Malley can't capitalize on it. Could he do it? Could he get the job done? Of course, Cejudo said, but he's going to have to do it within those first 2 rounds. Why the early urgency? Because if Sean doesn't find success quickly, Henry believes the fight will unfold exactly like the first one. If he doesn't, it's going to be the exact same fight, he warned. He went on to say that Merab's confidence has only grown since their last bout. Merab's confidence, knowing what he can do to him and take him down, it's just there. So what's the final verdict from the Olympic gold medalist? For that reason, I've got Merab Dvalishvili via decision, all 5 rounds, 50-45. Cejudo respects O'Malley's skills, but believes that unless something dramatic happens early, Merab's relentless pace and pressure will lead him to another dominant decision victory. Now let's talk about Tom Aspinall, who just made a massive statement. He said Jon Jones is retired. That's right, retired. This week, Tom announced some major news during an appearance on Good Guy Bad Guy with DC and Chael Sonnen. He revealed that Jon Jones is retired and it's time for everyone to move on. While fans have been waiting on word from the UFC regarding the heavyweight title picture, Aspinall decided to take it into his own hands. He said, "Guys, why are we still talking about Jon? He's retired. He's done." Tom added, "I said a thing a long time ago. You guys know me. I'm not a disrespectful guy, but I said I would retire Jon without even fighting him, and that's what's happened." As he continued, he said, "We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers. Let's get this division moving again. Those guys have been waiting around for too long. The contenders are getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff." He then posted a message on his Instagram story saying he wanted to be the first to wish Jon all the best in his retirement. "Let's get this division going, UFC," he said. Although Aspinall didn't announce who his next opponent will be, he revealed that the date and location for his next fight are already set. He said, "You guys are gonna see really soon. I've got a date and a location, but not everyone is buying it." Ariel Helwani said on his show that he believes there's still a chance the fight with Jon happens. He said if it were 1000% off the table, the UFC probably would have moved on already, but they don't need Tom yet, so they don't have to move on. Is it trending in the right direction? No, obviously not. Chael Sonnen also appeared on Helwani's show and shared his take. He said Tom will fight and he'll get his request. The undisputed title will be up for grabs, but he finds it hard to imagine that Jon will walk away from $40 million. Chael said, "You can hurt Jon's feelings on Twitter and he'll change his whole outlook just for those 10 people that did it. But the real guy in there, the competitor, that guy is a dog. I don't think Jon Jones is walking away from anything." Despite all this back and forth, Jon Jones made a cryptic comment during a seminar in Bangkok, Thailand. When asked by a fan about the fight, he said, "The UFC, I and Tom, we've all got a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. They're one of the biggest organizations in sports, and right now, Tom and I have agreed to wait for the UFC to make their announcements, so I legally can't talk about it." With plenty of conflicting information, there's no telling how things are going to play out or when we'll get a real update from the UFC. And finally, Arman Tsarukyan has come forward to defend Islam Makhachev, shutting down recent rumors that the lightweight champ is moving up to welterweight simply to avoid a potential showdown with Ilia Topuria. Over the weekend, Tsarukyan competed in a high-profile grappling match at ADXC, Abu Dhabi Extreme Championship, held in Russia. Arman looked sharp and in control, ultimately securing a 5th-round submission win via rear naked choke. But it wasn't just his performance that made headlines, it was what he said afterward. Speaking to reporters post-fight, Tsarukyan addressed the controversy surrounding Islam's intentions and made his stance absolutely clear. Islam isn't ducking anyone. People talk, but they don't know what's really going on. Islam has always been willing to fight the best. This simple but powerful statement added weight to Islam's recent silence on the matter, while Ilia Topuria has been vocal, claiming Islam is running and not interested in fighting him. Arman's comments offer a strong counterpoint from someone who's seen Islam up close, both as a rival and as a fellow elite lightweight. What makes this moment particularly notable is that Arman Tsarukyan is himself a top contender in the same division. He's gunning for the lightweight title too. In most cases, fighters are hesitant to praise their competition, especially someone they could face in a future title bout. But Arman put that aside to speak honestly, showing that some things matter more than rankings or rivalries. This public show of respect also underlines the kind of loyalty and unity that exists within Team Khabib and its extended circle. Whether it's grappling, striking, or full-on MMA warfare, their fighters often stand together, protecting their values and supporting each other against media narratives and online drama. The timing of Arman's statement also matters, with Ilia Topuria continuing to stir controversy, taking verbal shots at both Islam and Khabib. Tensions have reached a boiling point between the Georgian and Dagestani camps. Arman's calm and confident words provide a measured response amidst all the noise, while Islam is reportedly eyeing a move to welterweight for a shot at double champ status. That ambition shouldn't be mistaken for fear. According to Arman, Islam's track record speaks for itself. He's always taken on elite competition and never shied away from a challenge. As this drama continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the lightweight division is more heated than ever. Between Tsarukyan, Makhachev, and Topuria, there's no shortage of talent or tension. So there you have it, the latest headlines from the world of MMA: Sean Strickland choosing friendship over business, Tom Aspinall forging his own path at heavyweight, Jon Jones possibly re-entering the title picture, and the Dagestani team pushing back against Ilia Topuria's firestorm. Which of these stories got your blood pumping? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Till next time, stay sharp, stay ready, and stay in the fight.